Alright, let's start with the pros and cons of doing DoorDash. The pros, the list is very short, is you are your own boss. You can stop, take breaks, go home if you want, have lunch, or even wrap it up, call it a day. The other thing is, well, let's see, I can't think of any. That's it for the pros of DoorDash. For the cons, you have to use your own fuel. So your earnings are going to be definitely cut short when it comes to DoorDash because you have to pay for your own fuel. And where I live, gas is minimum $4.50 a gallon. It's about $4.50 on average to $5 and some change per gallon. So you do the math. It doesn't compute. Reason number two for a con for myself would be the wear and tear on your vehicle. You do a lot of braking, a lot of hard turning. It wears your car down. Mine's already having my brakes go out, and I've only been dashing a matter of months. So that's reason number two. Reason number three, your risk and probability of getting in a car wreck. I've had numerous occasions since dashing of people cutting it out in front of me, people driving the wrong way, kids running out in front, you name it, I've seen it, and I've only been doing this a matter of months. So that's reason number three. You're on the road more, the more risk of getting into an accident. Okay, let's see. Number four here. Number four would be the maps are terrible. The maps take you to the wrong location. My most recent one that I had done with, as for the millionth time, I said I'm done doing DoorDash because of reasons like this. I'm near my drop location and it takes me completely out of the other direction. It ended up taking me on the freeway and I end up having to go about 10 to 15 minutes out of the complete wrong direction of where my drop-off location was. So that's another con for me. Which brings me to the next con. Where am I? I think I'm on number 5. Would be you get dinged for being late or spending too much time in the drop-off location, which a lot of times is completely out of your control because just like I mentioned with the previous con, you are getting misdirected by the maps, so then it makes you late. So then you're late and you get a ding on your account. Well, I've got like 4 or 5 late dings on my account when it was out of my control. It was either A, the maps bringing me to the wrong location, or another reason, which the next reason brings me to another con, number 6, which is the restaurant's food not ready. More than half the time, I'd say roughly 50% of the time, the food is not ready. So you have to spend a significant amount of time waiting, which you're not getting paid unless you're doing earned by time, which is very low pay. So you're spending a lot of time waiting at the restaurant, and then that also causes you to be late. So you get a late charge for that on your account, which lowers your rating, which then gives you less good offers. So it's just one of the other many reasons of why not to do DoorDash. I'm reiterating this to myself over and over again. I wanted to prove everybody wrong. Coworkers, friends of mine, they all say, don't do DoorDash. Quit doing it. I don't listen. I'm very stubborn, hard-headed, and I want to prove them wrong. Well, there becomes a fine line when you decide that, hey, I gotta be logical about this and do something smart, which is not doing DoorDash. Let's see, reason number 7 I think I'm on would be the customers, dealing with demanding customers. I've had numerous messages while I'm driving or asking for special requests. Can you get me sauce? Can you grab me extra napkins? Can you have them add more meat? All kinds of stuff. No, I generally don't have time to handle that request. especially usually when it's after I'm leaving the restaurant that these things come up. So it's just another annoyance. I'd say definitely a con. Also, let's get into number 8. Dashing at night or not being able to see people's addresses. A lot of people don't have good directions on their messages or their instructions on their DoorDash account. It'll be something very vague, and then very difficult to find some of the locations when they don't have the address on the outside of the house, or if it's at night you can't see it because it's too dark, or they have it in a different location that's not very visible to your average person. So I've dealt with that. Very difficult trying to find some of these locations, and then again that'll lead to you getting a late charge on your account, which you really can't dispute. I'd say number 9, I think I'm on, of the cons would be delivering to businesses or apartment complex that are difficult to find or difficult to get into. Again, I'd say at least 50% of the deliveries are to huge apartment complexes or difficult houses in the back of houses with gravel roads to get to them, things like that, or to a business that's closed, so you have to literally call or meet the person, which then cuts into your time because you have to wait. Sometimes you could even be late because of this. So then you get another late charge on your account. So again, that's another reason, number 8, I think I'm on, of a con not to do DoorDash. Number 9 would be the pay is pretty low, and you have to kind of cherry pick through orders in order to get a decent pay, which I learned the hard way, because at first, like most people, I accepted every order. I learned quickly that you do have to cherry pick in order to even make a decent wage. With the whole $2 per mile, you're going to be declining a lot. And when you decline a lot, your acceptance rating plummets. I just got my rating back up to 47%. They said that I need to get mine above 50%. And I got all these upside down orders that are not worth their time. We're talking like 8 miles for $2, $3, stuff like that. Decline. And I'm declining until Kingdom Come. And then here it comes to find out that my acceptance rate is all the way down again. So then I'm back to dropping from gold status back down to silver status in a matter of minutes, when it takes me several days or hours to build up to that status. You can drop it really quickly. So this is just one of many other cons not to do DoorDash. Let's see. I think I'm on number 9. Number 9 would be the double stacked orders. This is maybe just one that's for me. I don't generally want to do double stacked orders, but for some reason, most of the orders are double stacked. You don't get the easy pickings. DoorDash likes to make things difficult and have to have you turn your car on and off multiple times and more times than usual. So you're going to have to pick up double stacks or basically not DoorDash. And what I mean double stacks, meaning 2 different pickups, 2 different drop-offs. So that takes more time, more wear and tear on your vehicle, on and off, wait times at restaurants. And in the end, it really isn't worth it. Okay, let's move on to number 10. Number 10 con for me is the support, or the lack thereof. The first few times I called, I spent 2 hours and 15 minutes trying to find a hot spot to pick up orders. Before my first order, it was over 2 hours. Me and my friend Jeffrey were outdoor dashing. He said, "Yeah, I'll help you. Let's try it out," because it was kind of a thing that I was trying to help my friend out. He needed a place to stay for a night. I said, "Well, why don't you try DoorDashing with me?" "All right, I don't mind helping." We drove around for nearly 2.5 hours before we got our first order. Contact support. They put you on hold multiple times. You have to fight through an automated system several times just to get to that live person. Just to be told that they're going to escalate it. Most of the time, they don't help you, and they're just going to escalate the issue. So then you're basically just out more time because you're talking to basically a support system that will not help you or compensate you or do anything for your time and hassle and stress. Which brings me to number 11. Number 11 would be, what was number 11? Number 11 was having to drive way out your zone. So driving further away out than you anticipated. It really doesn't show you the exact amount, or at least I believe that they lie about the mileage, because it always seems further than what they actually tell you or that you agree to when you accept the order. It takes you beyond a reasonable distance of what you think that you had accepted originally. So I don't know, it'll say 3 to 5 minutes when it's several miles. You could still have 3 miles or more left on the route, and it'll say like 5 minutes or less. Well, that's not actual minutes. It's almost like in a basketball game when there's 3 to 5 minutes left in the basketball game. You're not counting for breaks and timeouts and commercial breaks. So things like that. I'd say number 12 con for DoorDash would be the traffic. If you live in a high traffic area, it can be very stressful, which I do. I live in Portland, Oregon, and the traffic is never ending. Well, they don't care about that. There's many instances where the roads are blocked off. They've got construction. Today I almost had to cancel a delivery, but I made it after about an extra 7 to 8 minutes doing different routes to try to complete the delivery because there was a parade going on. Again, out of my control, not my fault. But does DoorDash care? Of course not. So that would be another main concern for me, which definitely is a con. Stuff out of your control, traffic. Can't control it, and you're going to get dinged for a late fee when it comes to that. Number 12. 12 is having to basically spend extra time than you anticipated with some of these orders that you have accepted, and there is nothing you can do about the order. You accept the order, and then the order had already been picked up by somebody else. And in order to get compensated for this type of thing, you have to contact support, which means spending time on the phone waiting, trying to fight through an automated system just to get to a live person. And more than half the time, they don't compensate you if the order is picked up by somebody else. I recently went to a Hispanic guy that was waiting at the counter, and he said, "Yes, sir. Just give me a minute. Give me a minute." His system, he showed me his tablet. On the tablet was not working. He said, "I have problems with my internet." I said, "Okay, sir." I said, "What would you like me to do?" And he said, "Wait, I will call the customer and see if he still wants that order." Sure. I sit there and wait in the restaurant. Nice little hole in the wall Mexican restaurant. Not very busy, mind you. There was only one couple there that were drinking. They ordered drinks and sat down in the restaurant. And over 5 minutes maybe go by, still waiting. He says, "Hold on." He comes by and says, "Hold on, one more." It ended up being nearly 10 minutes before I just said, "Forget this." So now I have to unassign the order. Well, unassigning the order, of course, gets you dinged on your account rating. So things like this, out of my control. Numerous times I've had it. The order is unavailable for pickup, or there's a problem at the store, or somebody has already picked up the order. You don't get compensated for that. So it's just time and money that you're out. So that's just one of the many other cons that, like I said, that is on the list of not to do DoorDash. I think we're on either 13 or 14. I think 13 reasons now. Number 13, the taxes. just recently learned that you have to pay your own taxes out of DoorDash. So at the end of the year, you better be keep track of your mileage, because you're going to have to pay your taxes out of it. Yes, we're considered independent contractors, so we have to pay our own taxes. So that's not really accounted for when it, besides gas and any other added expenses that you might have, like wear and tear or vehicle repairs. That's not included. So it's kind of smoke and mirrors when it comes to signing up for DoorDash, because you don't think about that. They don't advertise that, hey, you got to pay your own taxes out of this, so it might not be worth it. Or else they get no new drivers, because their objective is to get all new drivers and then just keep recycling. Kind of like a lot of companies do. Once the pay is supposed to increase, they just get rid of people, bring in new people, new hires. That's the same as DoorDash. They want to keep the base pay low. Apparently, it's gone from $6.50 or $6 a base pay. Now it's at $2 base pay. And that's pretty average, I'd say, is $2 base pay, which is nothing. So that's why so many people are frustrated about the tips. I guess that could even be another reason, another con. Number 16 or 15. If you don't get tips, you don't make any money. So it puts the customer and the dasher in a bad spot, because if you don't get tips, you don't make it worth enough wage for you to continue to do this. And so now the dasher's mad at the customer's mad at the company and wondering why the company's not paying their dashers. Well, who gets the last laugh? DoorDash, because they're pocketing all that money just like they want. So again, another reason not to do DoorDash. You shouldn't feel like you have to be compelled to get a tip to make your living, earnable wages. It's not right. It's not fair. Just like a lot of the things with DoorDash, it just doesn't add up. Makes no sense. I feel my heart goes out to the people that have to do DoorDash all the time. I don't have to do it. I did it on top of my regular job for something to do. Maybe because I'm ADHD or hyperactive or whatever you want to call it. It's something that I feel like would keep my wheels going. And was hoping to put a little bit of change in my pocket. Scoop a little loose change. But the way they've got it set up, they don't want you to make money. And immediately will put a stop to you making money. So a lot of people don't tip when it comes to the DoorDash. The ones that do, very grateful. Thank you so much. But to the ones that don't, they probably either A, don't care, or B, they think that the company should be paying you, livable wages doing the dashing, which is all true, but they don't understand all that goes into it. That we're paying our own time, gas, and taxes, and all the above. All they want is their food, which I get it. Monkey see, monkey do. When I want my food, I want it now. And I get that, but people got to make a wage in order to keep doing this to get your food delivered. So I guess that's all I have for now when it comes to DoorDash. But after many attempts and trial and errors, it's just too much stress. I guess that's another reason I have. It's very stressful. You have to have the patience of Job to continue to be a dasher in nowadays day and age. Meaning patience on the road, patience for your payments, patience for waiting for these orders. So my heart goes out to the people that do it, and it sounds like a lot of people have to do it, so that's the only reason they do it. I feel like DoorDash should do better. They're an $84 million company. Why not just make good payment? Why not just pay your workers good enough wages to give your company a good name? Instead, they take advantage of minorities and people that are in a tough spot to be able to do this gig just to put some money and food on their table. It's not right. I can't stand for it. Anyways, those are the reasons and the cons not to do DoorDash. It's your choice. You decide what to do. Thanks for listening, and I'll take care.